Gertie, can you hear me?
In orbit around a star, do you know just where we are?
Gertie, can you hear me?
Is your mission clear? You have nothing left to fear.
Space Crew Talks,
Season 6.
Space Crew Talks,
Season 6.
Space Crew Talks,
Season 6.
Every Whover down in Whoovers Mill, New Jersey loved Halloween a lot. But the Martians who lived up on Mars, they did not. The Martians hated All Hallows Eve, the whole weenie season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be their antennas were screwed on way too tight. It could be that their spaceships only turned to the right. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that their trick-or-treat candy bars were two sizes too small. But whatever the reason, their treats or maneuvers, the Martians stood there on Hallows Eve hating the Whoovers, staring down from their planet with a sour Martian frown at the warm lighted windows below in that New Jersey town. For they knew every Whoover behind every Whover Mill door was busy now decorating with cobwebs galore. "Look, they're hanging their skeletons," they snarled with a sneer. "Tomorrow is Halloween, it's practically here." Then they growled and they howled with all three Martian fingers nervously drumming. "We must find some way to keep Halloween from coming. We scared them in '38, but look at them now. We must stop all their trick-or-treating. But how?" Then they got an idea, an awful idea. The Martians got a wonderful, awful idea. "Wait, I know just what to do," one Martian laughed in his way. "We'll send an armada of spaceships, okay?" And the others chuckled and clucked. "What a great Halloweeny trick! With our saucers and fighting machines, they'll scare themselves sick. Then we'll take all the candy, the full-sized, I mean. Then we'll scamper back here and have the best Halloween." So they took all their ships and disguised them as cylinders and other strange twisted shapes that they called spin-twilinders. Then they loaded some masks and some trick-or-treat sacks, ready to fill with candy bars to the max. Then the Martians said, "Lift off," and the armada shot down toward the homes where the Whoovers lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, no one knew they were there. All the Whoovers were dreaming All Hallows dreams without care, as they came to the first little house on the square. "This is stop number 1, the clever Martian hissed, as he stepped to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then they teleported through the rooftop, which was quite handy, to land in the kitchen, where they looked for the candy. Their three eyes had trouble in the darkness to see, but their antennas detected where the candy would be. The Whoovers had already filled up a big bowl. "Those Snickers," one growled, "are the first things to go." Then they slithered and slunk, their search to complete, around the whole room, and they took every treat. Kit Kats, Skittles, peanut butter cups, M&Ms, gummies were all taken up, and they stuffed them in bags. Then the Martians quite nimbly hauled all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then they skulked to the front porch, where sat Jack-o'-lantern, with a broad-toothy smile that was carved in a pattern. But the Martians were not aware that Jack was alive. He was a Whoover in costume, no more than 5. When Jack saw the Martians, he thought they were kids out for kicks, coming out early to play out some tricks. He stared at the Martians and said, "Great costumes, you guys. Are you going to TP our house? But why?" Well, you know, those Martians were so smart and so slick. They thought up a lie, and they thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the smart Martian lied. There's a rib on that skeleton that's come off on one side, so we're taking it back to our workshop, my dear. We'll fix it up there, then we'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted his head, and he got him a drink, and he sent him to bed. And when Jack was in bed, still wearing his mask, the Martians snuck out softly to continue their task. They sorted the candy in piles by chocolate or not, and smiled at all that was there, quite a lot. And then they tossed out the candy corn. Fans they were not. And the one bit of Halloween left in the house was a cobweb that would not scare even a mouse. Then they did the same thing to the other Whoovers' houses, leaving cobwebs that would not scare the other Whoovers' mouses. And it was 1:45, all the Whoovers still abed, all the Whoovers still a snooze, when the smart Martian said, "We've got all their candy, their pumpkins, their ghosts, ghoulies and gremlin masks they'll miss the most. We've completed the invasion, so now back to Mars, where we'll feast on our treats as we gaze at the stars." "Pooh-pooh to the Whoovers," they all cheered while humming. "They'll find out now that no Halloween is coming. They're just waking up. We know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open for a minute or two. Then the Whoovers down in Whoovers Mill will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise," agreed the Martians, "that we simply must hear." So they paused, and the Martians put one hand to one ear, and they did hear a sound rising up through the air. It sounded so bare, then it started to blare, then it got even louder till it filled up Whoovers Mill Square.
Babu forays, Babu borays, hello, hallowed Halloween. Babu forays, Babu borays, hello to the chance to scream. Welcome, welcome, scary costumes. Welcome, welcome, witches on brooms. Halloween is here with frights to keep us up for many nights.
But this sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded glad. Every Whover down in Whoovers Mill, the tall and the small, was singing without any candy at all. They hadn't stopped Halloween from coming. It came. Somehow or other it came just the same. And the Martians, with their Martian tummies quite full, stood puzzling and wuzzling. This is intolerable. It came without chocolates. It came without hags. It came without pumpkins, boxes, or bags. They puzzled and wuzzled till their puzzwuzzlers was sore. Then the Martians thought of something they hadn't before. Maybe Halloween, they thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe All Hallows Eve means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoovers Mill, they say that the Martian stomachs shrunk 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of eating so much candy came through, and the Martians got tummy aches of 10 Martians plus 2. And now that their stomachs felt ever so tight, they whizzed with their load through the bright starry light, and with a grimace they hovered, then landed their ships, holding their bellies and wiping their lips. "Yo, aliens!" They invaded Whoovers Mill, who all panicked. They locked themselves up behind doors except one mechanic. He brought out a flask and offered the Martians a drink, but the Martians didn't see his sly little wink. because they were thirsty from all of the sweets. They all had a sip, and then without missing a beat, the Martians began to collapse to the ground from minute bacteria that was swimming around, eating their insides because they had no defense. You see, the mechanic had read H.G.'s book, which makes sense. Then he was cheered by the Whoovers, both far and near, and they made him Grand Marshal of the parade the next year. So celebrate Halloween in your own way. But remember the words that we want to say. If you want to evade an alien invasion, be wise, and heed the lesson learned from that mechanical guy. And always, I mean always, give out your candy full size.
Babu forays, babu borays, hello, hello, Halloween. Babu forays, babu borays, hello to the chance to scream. Welcome, welcome, scary costumes. Welcome, welcome, witches on brooms. Halloween is here with frights to keep us up for many nights.
I will build a world for you. My family I hold so true. My love for you is oh so strong. Now come on, Curdy, finish this song.
Curdy, can you hear me?
The stories are the key, but they're not for free.
Curdy, can you hear me?
And with each new world, time it will unfurl.
Space Croutons,
Season 6,
Space Croutons,
Season 6,
Space Croutons,
Season 6.
and featuring the guardrails of the galaxy.
Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy, can you hear me?
Curdy, can you hear me? Come in, Curdy. Curdy, can you hear me? Curdy.